getting underway with training camp to defend their Super Bowl title. But Brady doesn't see himself slowing down anytime soon, don't worry. After publicly saying he wants to play until he's 45 years old, now TB12 has opened the door to playing to 46 or even past that point, telling Jim Gray in an interview, quote, "It's more about am I at championship level as a quarterback? And if I am, I'm going to play and I'm going to compete because I love it." So, Shannon, we've speculated for years here at Undisputed, but now, how many more years do you really think Brady will play?
Well, Skip, I believe it's really important for him to reach that milestone that he set out there for, like, what, 7, 8 years ago. He said, I'm gonna play until I'm 45. And he has a lot of other guys talking about playing to that age. You hear Russell Wilson saying he wanted to play until his 40s. Aaron Rodgers has mentioned playing until his 40s. Drew Brees says, and we saw what happened, Skip. I just believe until you get to year 10, I mean, I was at year 5, I was like, man, if I could just make it to 10. And then once I got to 10, I took it year by year. And I think that's what Tom Brady, although he has that on the horizon, 45, man, 45, play until I'm 45. That'll give me 23 years. I believe he takes it year to year. Skip, I believe Brett Favre was going to play again until he got hurt in year 20, and basically that ended it. And he's like, you know what? And it gets harder to come back from these significant injuries because if you look at all the injuries that he had played throughout his career to keep the streak alive, the separated shoulders, concussion, sprained knees, broken thumb, torn biceps. But it was in year 20, he had that separated shoulder, Skip, and it was like, you know what? I'm done. So I believe Tom, when he says that, you know, 45 is the destination that I would like to arrive at. But it's going to be contingent on how healthy he is up until that point. Let's see how this year goes out. I believe if he comes out of it, even if they don't win the championship, if he comes out of this season relatively healthy, he's coming back. But if he has an injury, and I hope it doesn't happen, I don't know if he's willing to, like, man, do I really want to rehab instead of train? Because for the most part, Skip, he's been able to train, and we saw the thing where he had a MCL tear. He had that repaired. But that was really the first time that I've heard of Tom having surgery in an offseason in, since 2008 when he had the knee? Well, that was during the season. But, you know, he rehabbed that. Other than that, Tom, the season ends, he probably take a week or two down, and then he's back training, getting ready for the upcoming season. So I think everything is contingent on how healthy Tom is and how well he plays. But I do believe that 45, it means something to him because he put that out there. I believe Drew Brees would have played another year had his body not fallen him. Skip, his body Drew was playing well, Skip. He was in the MVP conversation. And then something happened. He took a hit, a routine hit.
And his ribs cracked. Yep.
Not a bunch of them.
A bunch of them, yep. Okay, so your gut feeling right here, right now, given health, if he has pretty to very good health.
He'll come back next year.
So you'll say this year and one more, and that will be it.
Yep.
So I hate to point out, for our viewers' sake, that we've gone now, we're getting into our
5 years.
5th year.
Yep.
That each year you've said maybe one more, maybe one more, maybe one more.
The one thing I was right about, I said it's going to be a last one in New England.
Okay, I'll give you that one. And because it was his last in New England, and because he has found football utopia in Tampa, with a team that is as talented as any other team in the league, you can make a case they are the most talented
Well, they're the most talented team he's ever been on.
Well, definitely that. But wall to wall.
Oh, absolutely.
Weapons, defense.
Yes.
It's pretty great.
Yes.
And it looks like it could last a little while.
Yeah.
And I loved what he said yesterday because he's so self-aware. His point yesterday was to Jim Gray, or this actually 2 days ago, he's saying, look, is my arm going to get stronger this year? No. Am I going to get faster this year? No.
No.
Am I going to be able to throw it farther this year? Although he did lead the league in air distance last year because of Bruce Arians' offense.
Right.
You know, it required him, it asked him to throw it farther than he was ever asked to throw it in New England. And I thought he threw it great. I didn't see any diminishing arm talent, but it's also not going to get better at 44 or 45.
Right.
So he's saying, I accept that. But the point is, he said, in the end, all I care about is, can I still play at a championship level at 44?
Right.
The big answer is yes, because for one, I will not be at all surprised if he wins MVP next year. He's going to be right in the middle of it because of the offense he runs and because of the weapons at his disposal. And I'm talking about the running game and the receivers.
Yep, correct.
And it's deep in talent. And again, their offensive line the other day, somebody was ranking offensive lines, and it was in the middle of the pack. And I'm like, I don't see it in the middle of the pack. I
think they took the totality of it, Skip, because he did get hit a lot early, but they shored it up like the last 5 weeks of the season, and then going into the playoffs.
Yeah, the ranking I saw was not high on Donovan Smith, the left tackle, or Kappa, the left guard. But remember, Kappa got hurt and didn't even play through the playoff run.
Well, Worth is their best offensive. Christian Worth is their best offensive lineman.
And
He's special.
I told you the other day, at some point he will segue over to the left, I assume, and be the protecting tackle, the blindside tackle.
He's legit.
Okay, so given that, Brady is saying, I've actually been able to maintain championship level for a long time without getting any better, but I don't get any worse.
Correct.
And he said, I do that through my workouts, my recovery, my training. Okay? Has he not found some magic formula that works for him?
He said that. He says he hadn't gotten any worse. He hadn't gotten any better. What's the key to that? Injury.
Okay.
As long as you don't suffer an injury, you can stay there.
Okay.
Especially, and he hadn't had any major injury.
Okay, but he is on course. He's going to set the all-time sacks record because he's played so long.
He played 21 years. What do you expect?
But don't tell me he doesn't get beat up because that night in Chicago, Lord have mercy.
That
Thursday night game that they lost.
There are going to be games where he gets beat up, and then there's going to be games like the Super Bowl where he gets hit once.
Yeah. Well, Khalil Mack hit him a bunch of times. And knocked him around. And I still believe he was concussed at the end of that game when he was doing this.
As long as you don't have situations where you're getting the Chicago or you're getting the Rams.
Well, you can't have it
the Saints
consistently.
You're getting battered at 44.
Okay, so then he concluded in these quotes. He's saying, look, I play because I love it.
Yeah.
Well, if you still love it, that's all that matters. That's the bottom line, because he said, I love to compete. Well, so do you.
Yes.
But at 35, 35, your body said, I can't compete for you anymore.
No.
I can't do this. And so if your body defies you and betrays you, as Drew Brees did, then you just say, okay, well, this is no fun anymore because it's not fun to stay hurt.
Skip, I loved everything about football except football at that point in time because I just couldn't do the meetings.
Yeah,
see, Tom loves the meeting. Tom loves like
the prep.
Rewind it. I like, man, I don't want to take any more film home and watch it. I don't want to watch any more film at practice. I like, can I just show up to practice and play? And that wasn't an option. So the next best option was to leave and go to TV. But Tom loves everything. Tom loves practicing. Tom loves film study. He loves getting on the planes and having fun with the guys.
And now, key point, he has a coach he actually loves to be around because he's fun. Bruce Arians is just a lot of fun to be around, right?
And Skip, Tom Brady, for the first time, looks around and gets treated like the player he deserves to be treated as.
First time ever.
He's like, hold on. You mean to tell me I get to treat? He probably got a different parking spot, get close to the building. He gets privileges that he never got in New England, and he was there for 20 years, and he gets this after being there for 2 months.
Yep. So here's his concluding point to Jim Gray. He says, you know, we shouldn't stop our life, even though we love something, because it's just someone puts an arbitrary timeline on it. Very true.
Right.
Just because no one's ever played to 44 or 45 at a high level.
Right, especially at a skill position. Blanda kicked till he was 48, but he was just a kicker.
Got it. We're just talking about quarterback.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because there's the old the theme that quarterbacks back in this is like 20 years ago, that all the statistical, historical stats showed you that when you get to 38, you start to hit the quarterback wall. Well, obviously, he's way beyond that wall.
Correct.
So he's saying, I don't care what history says.
Well, hell, he's been to more Super Bowls after the age of 37 than any other quarterback has been to in their career.
So
you're talking about from 37 to 43, where he's at, as opposed to all the other quarterbacks in history.
Okay. So he's saying, don't tell me what's happened in the past, because I'm shattering this mold because I'm happy, I'm committed.
Right.
I'm reasonably healthy. He got his knee fixed, and I do think it was sounds like it's a pretty serious injury. And I have a really good team with a coach I love in an organization I really love.
Right.
And what's not to love about this? So to me, again, I'm going to knock on wood for him. Given health, I don't know why he couldn't play for 3 or 4 more years. Would it shock me if he played till 50? And again, you're going to laugh out loud at that. But would it shock me if Tom Brady played football at age 50? It wouldn't shock me at all.